Welcome to Metro Matters. Today, my guest is Brandon O'Neill. Brandon is the supervisor with the LIHEAP program. Welcome, Brandon.
Thank you. Thank you out there for having me. I appreciate
And
you.
it's not like you haven't been on here many, many times, and we know that you are a friend of the show, so we appreciate you
Thank you
taking
so
the
much.
time to come on the show today.
Absolutely.
So Brandon is, again, with LIHEAP, and that is out of the Resilience and Community Services department. And so talk a little bit about what brought you to this work. How long have you been with Metro and all of that good stuff?
Yeah, so I've been with Metro since 2016. Love what I do. I have the opportunity to help people, and that's the biggest thing. We help over 25,000 households a year.
Wow.
And that's huge. I have an MBA, undergraduate in psychology, my graduate's in business, and I've been with this job. I've been allowed to kind of merge my heart and my head, and my passion for operations and all that, but also the passion for helping people has been a big thing for me. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. So then, talk a little bit about your supervisor of LIHEAP. Talk a little bit about your division. How many people is in the office and all of that?
Absolutely. So we are under the Office of Resilience and Community Services. We have, the LIHEAP team specifically has 7 different sites. We're out at 6 different neighborhood places and then 1 Newburgh Community Center. But we're stationed throughout the city, basically helping as many people as we can. We have about 4 staff at each site. We have a site lead and then 3 workers that are with them to help them process as many applications as we can. So we've expanded since 2016 from 3 sites to the 7 sites to really help with the capacity and the bandwidth of how many people that we're seeing.
So talk a little bit about what exactly is LIHEAP.
LIHEAP, yes. It's an acronym. A lot of people think it's a word, but it's not. Some folks think it's LIHEAP, and it's not. It's LIHEAP, but it's an acronym. It stands for Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program. So we are basically out here helping folks keep their home warm during the winter months, and during the summer months, we're keeping them cool.
Okay. And how, go into what makes a person eligible for, if this is a program or an initiative, and how is this funded through Metro or is this federal funded? Talk a little bit about that. Will it end soon or, because we're always nervous about when they are, when programs are created. But LIHEAP's been around for how long?
Years, and don't expect it to go anywhere, right? So we've been around for countless years, right? This grant is federally funded, and one of the things that, fortunately, for the last several years since COVID, we've been going nonstop. Historically, we're typically only between those cold months. I like to call it like October through, March, April. But recently, the last couple of years, we've been able to do or provide a spring subsidy as well as a summer cooling. But what we're coming into now is what we call in our early registration phase, which is our fall subsidy, which is, I don't anticipate fall subsidy in our winter crisis, which I'll speak to more here in a minute, but I don't anticipate them going anywhere. So they'll be here for a while.
Talk about eligibility.
Sure. So to be an eligible resident, you have to be a Jefferson County resident, 1. And then your income has to be at or below 150% of the federal poverty guidelines.
What does that mean? When I hear people talk about being below, what is that? What does that mean?
So typically, if you are a 1-person household, okay, your income cannot exceed $1,883 a month, okay? Let's just imagine you have a household of 4, right? Your income cannot exceed $3,900. So it kind of varies based on the size of your household, but all that information is online, and it's also on the website whenever they call in and schedule an appointment or go online and schedule.
Okay, so let's talk about that. So if I meet those guidelines,
yes,
then my next step is what?
Super simple. It is call in to 502-991-8391 or go online to LouisvilleKY.cascheduler.com
CA scheduler?
Yes, and schedule that appointment. If you fit those requirements as far as being a Jefferson County resident and you're at or below 150% of the federal poverty guidelines, all you have to do is call and schedule an appointment at that point.
And so, what does the process look like? Do I have to fill out once I call,
Yes.
make this appointment, and once I go to this appointment, am I having to complete an application? Do I need to provide what?
Yeah.
What documentation?
Right. So as soon as your appointment is, you schedule your appointment, you will come in on that day at that time. Kind of anticipate waiting about 15 minutes or so. But it's super simple. Bring in all your documentation, things like your ID, social security cards for everyone in the household. Then we'll need your previous month's income, and along with that, we'll need your LG&E bill. Just so you know, we're also doing providing assistance towards the water bill, MSD water bills as well. So we encourage folks to bring in their MSD water bills as well. But it's super simple. We'll take in all the documentation, make copies. We'll process everything inside the computer. We'll print an application, give it to the client, and then they'll be allowed to go.
So for this appointment and this application process, does everyone in the household need to be a part of the appointment?
No, absolutely not. Just the person that's applying. So even if somebody, let's say that they can't get there and they struggle with transportation or any physical ailments that may hinder them from getting there, they can send someone in on their behalf. So it's that accessible.
And so you kind of mentioned MSD. Yes. So there's a program with MSD that you'll give assistance toward that bill?
Yes.
What does that look like?
Absolutely. So about a couple of years ago now, we've had a partnership with MSD where we have rolled out the ERAP, which is the Emergency Wastewater Rate Assistance Program, and the Senior Discount Program, which basically gives you 30% discount towards your bill.
Is it just MSD or MSD and LG&E?
So it's MSD for the Senior Discount Program and the Emergency Wastewater Program.
Okay.
And then you can also get assistance with your LIHEAP bill with LG&E.
That is amazing.
It's amazing.
So going back, so we're talking about senior discount,
Yes.
MSD only.
Mm-hmm.
What is considered a senior? What's the age on that?
It's 65 and older. Yeah.
And is that a different process, application process, or if I'm already if I'm 65 and I'm already applying
Yes.
for the LIHEAP, do I need to do something different for MSD?
Other than bringing in that water bill, that MSD water bill, that's all you have to do. It's super simple. If you're 65 and older and you want to apply for the SDP or Senior Discount Program, bring in that water bill. We'll assess you for assistance with that, as well as your LG&E assistance with their LIHEAP program. Yeah.
Give out the website and phone number again, please.
Sure. So if they're trying to schedule an appointment for the LIHEAP program or the SDP program or the ERAP program, it's all in one. All they have to do is go to the website at louisvilleky.cascheduler.com, or they can call in at 502-991-8391.
And I'm sorry, I should ask you this earlier. With the MSD senior discount, what's the income? Is that the same as LIHEAP?
Yeah, it is at 150% of the federal population. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. What other types of discounts do you guys work with, or any other kind of services or anything like that?
So we also offer the weatherization program for individuals to get their homes weatherized during this, as we're crawling into our colder months, which is always important. So that's something that we encourage folks, if they're interested in getting their homes weatherized, is to call 502-574-5050 to get some assistance with that.
So if I go through the process, I meet the criteria, I'm eligible. What do I expect? How much? I guess I should say, how much should I expect to receive?
So,
and how long does it take for me to receive that?
Great question. So it's as soon as the process is done, the pledge is applied to the LG&E bill immediately. So the LG&E can see the pledge that we plan to pay instantly, and it's applicable towards their bill. As far as the MSD discount, that takes about a billing cycle or two before it actually becomes applicable.
You talked a little bit about your sites
Yes.
and their neighborhood place sites. What else is offered at those sites? Are there other resources that someone that, yes, I'm seeking the LIHEAP,
Yes.
but I may need some other resources as well.
What a great question. That neighborhood place is really like the face of the community, right? We have multiple sites spread throughout the city, which are very helpful as far as like a one-stop shop. We have WIC in those locations. We have there's CPS assistance in those locations. There's, of course, LIHEAP. There's eviction prevention. There's a ton of resources, LMHA, Little Metro Housing Authorities in some of the sites, but a ton of assistance and resources in those one-stop shops that really help. We share in past clients to further assist them or link them to resources to help them. But it's a great concept, and it's working well. Yeah.
And to get in contact with them, just go through the Resilience and Community Services website?
Sure, they can do that option. If they don't know which one or where it's available, feel free to call 311. That's always an option they can use, or 574-5050 as well.
Perfect. So when, I'm going to go back, I'm going to just keep going back to the application process for LIHEAP, because that's what I really want people to understand, that there's resources out here available.
Yes, it is, yes.
And you just need to take advantage of it. And so talk again about what they need to provide so they can start working on it. If they don't have it, let's start working on it.
So again, October 14th will be the first day for our early registration. And that's for our seniors and our individuals who may have a disability in the household, okay? That starts October 14th. And then November 5th will begin for everyone, okay? But once they come in, they wanna make sure that they have their Social Security cards for everyone in the household, last month's income or proof of income for everyone in the household. And then after that, the water bill, as well as the LG&E bill, and then their ID, and that's it.
And about how many people will receive assistance throughout the time frame?
Yeah, so over the whole course of just LIHEAP from, I say, October to March, we see over 25,000 people. That's how many households we're able to help. And that stuff, that alone makes me grateful.
Do you ever run out of money? Do you ever have more applicants than you do resources?
I mean, it's happened before. We're talking 5, 6, 7 years ago at that point. But historically, we've been able to, pretty much assist most that we're able to, that have applied. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, we're going to take a brief moment and take a break. So, Brandon, before we left, you were talking about eligibility.
Yes.
And so let's go back to that. Mm-hmm. So you talked about the 150% below
federal poverty guidelines.
Federal poverty guidelines. What if I have no income?
That's a good question.
And I have nothing to show you because I don't have any income. Right. And right now, I need assistance with everything. Mm-hmm. Talk a little bit about what that looks like for a person and how, the Resilience and Community Services can help that person that's currently unemployed and have and has no income.
Absolutely. So those without income, that's very common, in this day and age, especially post-COVID. It's super simple. They can have someone write in on just a piece of notebook paper. This individual has zero income for the prior month. Or they can go online or come to one of our sites where we have forms that are called zero income forms. And they can have someone else that's not living in that household fill that form out for them to represent that they have zero income. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And so the time frame, you said it's the colder months, October
Yes.
to about March, April.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
What if I need assistance, because we're going to receive a utilities bill more than one time.
Mm-hmm.
What if I need assistance more than once? What happens with
Right.
that?
So during the fall months, let's say during the fall subsidy. So between October and December, that's one time that they can come in. Okay. Now they can come back in what we call our crisis phase. So during the subsidy phase, they can only come once. But during the crisis phase, they can come multiple times. So between January and March, I'm gonna say it again. Between January and March, they can come in multiple times. But for October, November, December, they can only come in once.
Because that's considered your subsidy.
Correct. Right.
Okay. Now, let's go back to the dates, because this is so important to get the dates right and understand just what you just told us between the subsidy, where you can apply one time,
Right.
and the crisis multiple
times until you reach that $400 mark for the crisis phase.
So talk a little bit about your dates.
So what we have coming up now, Althea, October 14th, we'll be starting our senior, was what we call our early registration phase. It's for our seniors and those who have disability in the household. That phase it's exciting. We give our seniors a little bit of a head start, right, to get them assistance.
Seniors, what's the age of our seniors?
It's 60 for the LIHEAP program, and it's 65 for the senior discount program. Yes.
Go ahead.
But no, we start that on October 14th, and that's super exciting to be able to give our seniors a little bit of a head start. And then right after Halloween, it's around November 5th, we will launch our fall subsidy for everyone that's a Jefferson County resident, not just the seniors. But at that time, we still have the same appointment system process, right, for them to go ahead and call in and schedule their appointment and come in and get some assistance.
So I want to go over the income guidelines again. So can you go through those?
Yes.
If there's a person, so if there's one person in the household.
The income cannot exceed $1,883. So we're thinking 150% of federal poverty guidelines. But let's say they have a huge household, right? And there's 6 people in the household. There's a mom, a dad, 4 children, right? Their income cannot exceed $5,245. So online, all this stuff is broken down to kind of further help explain. And I encourage folks to go to the website, go to the LouisvilleKY.ca scheduler.com website. It's on the front of that webpage there to kind of give them more insight to figure out whether they fit the qualifications.
So let's talk a little bit about resilience and community services. So they have the different resources.
Yes.
The resources are funneled through, are all of them funneled through the neighborhood places, or can you go directly to the department, the resilience and community services?
So most of our resources are housed at the neighborhood places. There are a few other ones that are housed at the Edison Center. Okay. But most of them, you can access them at the different neighborhood places that are spread throughout the city. LIHEAP especially, right? As I mentioned before, we are stationed in 6 different neighborhood places. We're in Ujima neighborhood place. We're in the Northwest neighborhood place at Shawnee. We're in the Bridges of Hope neighborhood place. We're also in South Central's neighborhood place, Tremoli neighborhood place, and then lastly we're at the Newburgh Community Center. So, Cane Run neighborhood place. So we're spread throughout the city to be able to help as many people with all the resources that we do have. Yeah.
So I'm thinking about, is there anything else before that we've missed, that we dealing with LIHEAP?
Yeah, I know a lot of folks may go through hardships, right? And during those winter months when it gets cold, I know LG&E may disconnect them. We are seeing those who are disconnected starting on November 5th, where we can assist them. Those folks do not, I hate to say this, but it's real, do not have to schedule an appointment. They can just walk right in. Why? Because we want to get them turned back on. That's our heart. Those folks who are disconnected, their light and gas is off. Their food is starting to spoil. We want to get those folks turned right back on.
And that's starting November 5th?
Yes.
And what do they need to bring?
The same documentation. So they'll need to bring Social Security cards for everyone in the household. They need to bring proof of income for the prior month. So if it starts in October, we need income for September. If they come in November, we need income for October. So it's always the previous month's income. Then they'll need an ID, and then the LG&E bill, but I would always ask them or encourage them to bring their water bill as well, because you can get some help towards that.
That's good. So that, and I want people to hear that, because earlier we talked about the water bill being a senior discount.
Right.
During this phase in November, if your utilities have been disconnected, you can also get assistance with your MSD bill. So that's really something to hear.
It really is. When you talk about that, so we got the senior discount program, but we also have the ERAP program. The ERAP program, that's that emergency wastewater assistance rate program. That program, folks can get help with their water bill, get at least 30% discount towards their bills, and it's extremely helpful to get that multiple times throughout the year.
So outside of the senior discount, there is no age requirement, just as long as you have something, a utility in your name or a water bill in your name. So, okay, that's good to know as well.
That ERAP covers everyone else who is not a senior. They both, whether you're a senior discount program or the ERAP program, you'll get 30% discount towards your water bill.
That's awesome.
It is. It is.
What else am I missing? Because we still have a little time here.
We also have this program called the HEA program. It's the Home Energy Assistance Program. Okay. So this is great as well. So this allows folks to get 30% discount towards their LG&E bill. Okay. So not only do we have the LIHEAP program, not only do we have the discounts towards the water program, but we also have the HEA program, where when an individual comes in for LIHEAP, we're going to automatically apply them for the HEA program as well. Now, there's only 3,000 of those folks that are going to get selected to be put on that HEA program, but we apply everybody to get that 30% discount towards their LG&E bill once they apply for the LIHEAP program.
When you talked about 30%, I was thinking,
yeah,
we need to apply for that.
Absolutely. Have you seen the LG&E bills? Yeah, yeah. So we're still seeing some massive size bills, with LIHEAP, and $2,000 and $3,000 bills still. So the need in the community is there, and I'm so grateful to be able to help offset some of those.
Do you see a lot of repeat?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's a lot of folks who know about our program and have been able to utilize it. It's a lot of need. And then we also get new folks all the time. Folks who just move in from out of town, or folks who have been kind of eclipsed by the pressures of life and have caused them to need a little bit of assistance. That's what we're here for. And that's what we're here to do.
Okay, so just give us the website for the Resilience and Community Services. Give us the website for people and phone number for people to apply.
Yes. So it's super simple. If you want to get LIHEAP assistance, you can call in. I like to go online, but you can call in. Take this number down. It's 502-991-8391. Or I suggest you to go online. I like it. It's a little bit easier and quicker. But you can go to louisvilleky.cascheduler.com to schedule that appointment. On there, you'll see all the information that I've mentioned today, as far as the income guidelines, who can fit the requirements, what documentation you'll need to provide, all that good stuff.
And dates and for registration, all of those different dates.
Absolutely.
Yeah, sure.
And I do want to mention out there, if I have a second, for anyone who wants to the appointment system fills up fast, right? I do encourage everybody to check back every Thursday. That's when we put in fresh sets of appointments. So, yeah.
Well, we appreciate. Give out the Resilience and Community Services website for all of the other
Yes.
initiatives and resources that may be available.
So that is at louisvilleky.gov.
Okay. / and then in the search put Resilience and Community Services in that. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
To our listeners, please take advantage of this program. If it's not for you, but if you know someone,
Yes.
spread the word.
Please do.
Because it's available. There's funding out there. There are deadlines that you're going to have to meet, but the funding's out there.
And we want to help. We want to help. So, yeah.
Absolutely. So tune in next Wednesday for another edition of Metro Matters.